Hey everyone, my name is DanielTarinelli. Today I wanted to go over with you guys how to never discount your product or service. So if you're selling cars, you're in real estate, you're in sales, and people tell you it's too much money, the go-to thing is to say, oh, well, what if I can get it to this price? Or how far apart are we from making a deal work? See, money is all perception. See, a $1 bill is perceived because it has the number 1 on the paper that it's $1. A $100 bill is perceived as 100 because it has 100 on a piece of paper. So it's all perception. To give you a perfect example, think of real estate. So you could say a house is worth of how big it is, but also it's the location as well. Everybody knows that. Location matters in real estate. So if you take a 2,000 square foot home right on the beach, right, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, that house may go for, I don't know, $700,000-800,000, depending on where you're in the country. Now, bring that same size house, the same layout, the same number of bedrooms, the same number of bathrooms, and bring that house 50 miles inland. For the most part, that house is going to be worth considerably less. Now, why is that? It's all based on perception. People's perception of living on the beach is worth more money to somebody that lives inland. So it's all based on what your mind thinks. So in order to overcome someone else's perception, what you need to actually do is get on the same side of their perception. So you need to actually be on board with them, and then you need to use a third-party story to make them realize that their perception may be a little bit different and get them to go on to your perception. So that's where prices come from. Prices come from is based on perception of what the value is going to bring to you. So really it's 5 things that kind of perceive value for people. And the first one is, how does it make you feel? Okay? How does it make you feel? Okay, so people perceive value off of 5 reasons, okay? That means there's 5 factors that people will subconsciously go in their mind to perceive the value, to basically to determine the price for them, whether or not it's worth paying that money or not. So the first one is, how is that product or service going to make them feel, okay? If it's a window washing service, how is the clean windows going to make them feel? If it's a carpet cleaning service, how is that fresh carpet going to make them feel? If it's a cell phone, right, a newer cell phone or the newer vehicle, how is that product going to make them feel, okay? So that's one of the factors that people will go by to determine the value of a product or service. Number 2 is how others will perceive them. So some people may not necessarily realize this, but we do make our decisions based on how other people will see us, or how we perceive other people will see us. So if everybody is driving the brand new Lexus in the neighborhood, then subconsciously you're going to perceive that as being higher priced. It's going to bring more value to you because everybody wants to fit in, everybody wants to be accepted amongst their peers or in a group in general. So number 2 is going to be how others will perceive them. That's actually going to determine the value of price for somebody, is how somebody or a group of people will look at them. That actually is value to somebody. So number 3 is the actual function of the product or service, okay? So people will make their decisions on, if they're looking at lawn mowers, right, and they're looking at one that's very less expensive, if they're looking at a push mower, right, and it's just a manual push mower, they're going to bring into account the function of that, how much time it takes, how good does the grass look. Then when they look at a more expensive, maybe a ride-on lawnmower, they'll actually look at the function, to look at maybe the grass is cut really nicely. It takes them half the time that it would on a push mower. So the actual function of the product or service is going to be number 3 of how people perceive value. So if you're in sales and you're getting a lot of people saying, hey, it's too much money, write down these 5 reasons and go through each one and think, okay, how does my product or service make them feel? How will others perceive them if they use my product or service, okay? The function of the product or service, how does it actually work? What are the results that you get with the product or service? So you want to write these down if you're in any sales position to ensure that whatever you're selling is going to benefit somebody. Number 4 is the fear of missing out, okay? I'm going to give you a perfect example. About a month or two ago in February, about a month and a half ago, I went to the 10X Growth Conference, Grant Cardone's motivational conference, okay? And one of the reasons why I actually went, I didn't realize this until a couple weeks ago, is from what I understood, there was never an event that was as big as that one, which means there was never as many motivational speakers in Miami Stadium, you know, and I think it was one of the commercials or something, which is very good at marketing. Say, well, there may not be an event like this ever again. This is going to be a one-of-its-kind event. So I purchased the tickets based on the idea of I don't want to miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So the fear of missing out on a really good experience drove me to actually fork out the money for the ticket. See, that is one of the factors that is perceived value. I saw value in missing out in a really good experience. So number 4, fear of missing out. And then number 5 is how important is it to me, okay? This goes to priorities. Everybody has priorities, whether or not they're conscious of it. They have priorities. They know what's important to them. For some people, cars are really important to them, you know? I'm sure everybody watching this video knows somebody with an $800 car or truck payment, but they live in a one-bedroom apartment, you know, on the bad side of town. So everybody has priorities of what's important to them. Or if you know somebody that spends all their money on going out to eat, they're going to nice restaurants, right? But maybe they don't drive a nice car. Maybe they don't live in a decent place. It's what is important to that person. So whenever you're justifying your product or your service, you need to figure out what's important to that person. That comes with listening. There's no skill or fancy word track with that. You got to listen and find out what is important to them to figure out where are they more likely to spend more money, okay? This is a factor that people go by, is what is important to them, okay? So these are the 5 factors that people go by. This is how people perceive value, okay? So when somebody says that your product or service is too much money, okay, what you want to do is instead of saying, okay, well, what would you do? Or what do you think the price is worth, okay? You're leaving it up to them to perceive the value of your product or service. What you actually want to do is say, I understand how you feel about the price. Our product or service is priced this way because then you go into all the reasons why it's worth the money, okay? Our product or service is priced this way because our vehicles go through the shop, right? They're inspected. We only sell cars with no accidents. We only sell cars with 1 owners. We offer a lifetime warranty. Or every home that we sell is insured to be good with, you know, mortgages. Good to have a good inspection with it. You know, it's going to come with a 2-year warranty. Whatever product or service you're selling, you want to give all the reasons why it's worth it. So this starts with yourself as a salesperson is, would you pay the money for your own product or service? I know I would. I know if I was the owner of a dealership right now and I needed people in the door, and I had X amount of money for advertising budget, I know that the service I provide is worth it 100%. I know that it hits on all 5 of these factors. I know that it's worth it. And I can give someone all the reasons of why my service is priced at where it's at. So instead of saying, oh, what would you do? Or what if I took it down $500 or took it down $1,000? Instead of doing that, explain to the customer the value that they're getting, okay? You need to be prepared for this. You have to explain to them all of the value that they're getting. And then when they continue to say, oh, it's too much money, it's too much money, instead of giving away money, you want to give away effort. And what I mean by that is, instead of, oh, I'll do $50 less per month, or I'll do $500 less, you want to actually provide them, offer them an additional service or effort that doesn't cost you any money, okay? To give you an example, if I have a dealer and they're like, well, that's too much money, Dan. It's too much money per deal. I would say I understand how you feel it's too much money. But our product or service is this way because you have trained individuals. We're in the USA. Best training out. We're going to call, text, email. You're only going to pay when we help sell you a car. But I understand how you feel it's too much. In addition to that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to personally make 20 phone calls out of your CRM to ensure you get the most qualified appointments in the door. So, did that cost me any money to do? No, it cost me a little bit of time. But now think of this. With the extra money that I just made, right, because I didn't discount my service, I now have more money to pay somebody to maybe clean my house, do the laundry, do the dishes, cut the grass. So then I made effort and translated that into value. And I actually made more money by not discounting my service, and I offered a little bit more of my time, right? Maybe take me a half hour to make 20 calls, maybe 15 minutes. So all I had to do there is just take 15 minutes out of my day, personally make phone calls. I just provided more value for that dealer instead of discounting my price, okay? So I provided more value. It didn't cost me anything, right? It cost me 15 minutes of my time. Now, I know there's somebody that's going to watch this, and they're going to say, well, time is money. But like I said earlier, if you're making more money, you have more ways to save time. You'll have the ability to pay people to do the mundane tasks that is not bringing you as much value, to actually give you more time. So provide effort. Give away effort. Don't give away money, okay? If you're selling cars and somebody says, oh, I can get it down the road $1,000 cheaper, I understand how you feel towards the price. But our vehicle is priced this way because we offer a lifetime powertrain warranty. Our vehicle is one owner. Our vehicle has no accidents. I understand how you feel about the price. What I'd be willing to do for you, Mr. Customer, is I actually will personally schedule all your service appointments for you, and I will make sure that there's a loaner car ready and available for you when you come in for a service. This way, you can get back to work earlier and you have more time to work, so you'll actually be able to make more money instead of waiting at the dealership all day. How does that sound? Good? Okay, great. Sign right here. You just provided an additional effort instead of giving away the price. Okay, you just provided value to this person. Now, would that have cost the salesperson any money? No. They may have to take 5 minutes out of their day, right? Maybe have to go to the service to make sure there's a loaner ready for the customer. But it did not cost them any more money. So instead of giving away money, give away your effort, okay? Work a little bit harder. Offer them something additional that you'd be willing to do that's not going to cost you any money. And also, you want to write down these 5 things of how people perceive value, okay? If you can get somebody on your side of perceived value, that's how you're going to make more money. To validate the value is to do not discount, offer effort, and then you validate with a third-party story, okay? So I understand you feel like the vehicle is priced too much. I would be willing to set up your service appointments, get you a loaner, so when you come in to save you time to make more money. I actually did this for a client of mine 2 months ago. His name was Bill. I ended up getting a loaner. He actually works in the truck driving industry, and we got him a loaner, and he was actually able to pick up an additional load, and he made an extra $500 because he didn't have to wait at the dealership. He got his loaner, got back to his truck, and he made the job. He actually made an additional $500. So we're $400 away on price. Well, that scenario just made him an extra $500. If you go down the road and buy where there's no loaners, no one's going to help you with a service appointment, you may be stuck in that scenario. What's it worth to that customer? See, guys, money is money, okay? The situations are different, but money is money. If you can show someone a way to save money in a different category of life and to get them to perceive that whatever you're selling is important to them, do you think they'll be willing to pay for it? absolutely be willing to pay for it. If you can make it important to them and you can perceive that it's worth more money and save them money in a different category, that's how you're going to be able to sell your product or service without ever discounting it. Instead, offer effort, okay? 5 reasons why people perceive value. Hope this video helps. Like, subscribe, go to the 7th Call YouTube channel. Hope you have a great day. Take care.